A finger hovers over a screen. The name glows. It pulls. Again. The reflex to check runs deep. It's not new. It's carved from nights spent scrolling, waiting for a reply that never came. Each tap, a silent plea. Each glance, a weight added to a chain. The mind knows the answer, yet the hand moves. That movement is not freedom. What is gained by feeding that pull? A moment's relief, a flicker of hope. The cycle spins tighter. The urge to know, to close the gap. It's a loop, not theirs, yours. That reflex promises clarity. It delivers only shame. Each check deepens the groove. The mind learns to crave what it cannot hold. The heart learns to bend. A quiet erosion. Not loud, not seen, but real. The system frays, not from their silence, but from your reaction. The cost is not the message unread. It's the piece of you left behind. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That strength is not in answering. It's in silence. Not in chasing. In staying still. The world moves. Their words land. Their absence stings. But none of it needs your response. Is that pull truly yours? Or a reflex fed by old wounds? Look closer. The urge to check is not control. It's surrender. The need to know is not strength. It's a trap. What sits in that moment is not just a choice. It's a mirror. The reflex runs deep, but it can be cut. A reply will settle it. That's the thought. It rises, sharp, familiar. A response will end the ache. It will close the loop. Clarity, just one message away. The mind builds a case. It justifies. It waits. That waiting is not peace. It's a cage. No reply changes the void. No answer seals the wound. The need for their words is not truth. It's a reflex. A pull to chase what's gone, to explain what's clear, to hold on when nothing holds back. That urge is not control, it's surrender. The trap is simple. Their silence seems like power. It's not. The power is in the pause, in the choice to not text, to not react, to let the moment pass without feeding it. That silence is not weakness. It's a cut, a break in the loop. The screen stays dark. The thought fades. Nothing moves, and nothing needs to. Se créa. The reflex to explain. A sentence forms. It begs to be sent. The urge to clarify, to justify. It rises. Sharp, unrelenting. A moment's silence from another feels like a verdict. The mind spins. It crafts defense. It builds cases. Each word unsaid, a weight. Each pause, a judgment. That need to explain. It's not new. It's a reflex. Worn deep by years of seeking approval, of chasing closure, of believing words can fix what silence broke. That reflex has a cost. It's not the lack of reply. It's the erosion within. Every justification sent strips a layer of self-command. It hands power to another. Their opinion, their response, their validation becomes the anchor, the system frays. Not because they didn't hear, but because the act of explaining bends the spine. It trades stillness for pleading. It turns awareness into a mirror of their gaze. The damage is quiet, invisible, but it compounds. Each plea, a crack in the foundation. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That suffering is not their silence. It's the story built around it. The reflex to explain feeds that story. It grows. It consumes. It pulls focus from what can be controlled to what cannot. Their thoughts, their reasons, their absence. None of it bends to words. None of it needs to. The strength lies elsewhere. In the pause, in the choice to withdraw, to hold the line, and say less. The action is simple. Let the urge rise and pass. Don't send the message. Don't craft the defense. The silence that follows is not defeat. It's a reclamation. Each moment unspent, unjustifying, builds a quiet force. It's not about being right. It's about being whole. The reflex to explain, it's a chain. Break it. Step back. Let their silence be theirs. The mind stays clear when it doesn't beg. That clarity, it's not loud. It's not a victory. It's a shift. A system realigned. The urge will return. It always does. But each time it's met with silence, it weakens. The world keeps moving. Their words, or lack of them, keep landing. But they don't need to touch what's within. That's the first secret. It's not about fixing their view. It's about releasing yours. You don't owe anything. The reflex to explain, it's a thread that pulls tight, but it's not the only one. Another waits, silent, repetitive, carving its own groove in the mind. Secret deux. The loop of checking. The screen glows. A name or its absence. The finger moves. It refreshes. Once, twice, again. The reflex to check. It's automatic. A pulse that hums beneath the surface. Not loud, not desperate, but constant. A quiet tug. A need to know. To see if they've replied. If they've seen. If they've cared. That motion, it's not curiosity. It's a loop. A groove carved by habit. By hope, blindly fed. Long after the answer was clear. That loop has a price. It's not the time spent. It's the theft of presence. Each refresh pulls the mind outward. It ties the heart to a signal that doesn't come. The cost is emptines. Not from their silence, but from the act of chasing it. The system bends. It learns to crave what it cannot hold. It trades stillness for a flicker of possibility. That flicker, it's not hope. It's numbness. A slow drain. Each check, a step further from the center. A hook pulls. The line is yours. That's the trap. The reflex to check. It promises connection. It delivers only weight. It's a system wired to repeat, to seek what's gone, to attack, to what's fleeting. The Stoic sees the hook and steps back. The action is not in finding an answer. It's in breaking the loop. Turn the screen off. Let the urge rise and fade. That choice is not loss. It's discipline. It's the refusal to let a reflex rule. The mind fights this. It wants to know. It wants to fill the void. But the void is not the enemy. It's the space where clarity forms. Each moment unspent checking builds a quiet edge. It's not about forgetting them. It's about reclaiming you. The reflex to check, it's a chain. Unhook it. Let the screen stay dark. Let the silence settle. That's where the system resets. That's where the loop breaks. You can end without drama. 68% of adults check their phone within 5 minutes of waking. That reflex isn't choice. It's a wire pulling the mind before it's even awake. Secret 3. The weight of others' words. The weight of a word lands. A glance. A tone. It sticks. Not because it's true, but because it's theirs. The reflex to carry it. It's instant. It sinks deep. The mind holds it. Turns it over. Gives it shape. That weight, it's not just a moment. It's a habit. A need to let their judgment define the frame. To let their silence or their noise set the rules. That reflex, it's not strength, it's surrender. The cost is not the word itself, it's what it steals. Each time their opinion is carried, it buries stillness. It clouds awareness. The heart bends, not to truth, but to shame. The system frays, not because they spoke, but because their words were kept. They were fed. They grew. That growth, it's not wisdom. It's a trap. A quiet theft of self-command. Each moment spent holding their judgment is a moment lost to you. A lake lies still. A stone is thrown. Ripples spread. That's their word. Their glance. Their absence. The reflex is to chase the ripples, to stir the water more. The Stoic stands and lets them fade. No one can harm you unless you let them, Epictetus said. That harm is not their judgment. It's your grip on it. The action is clear. Let the stone sink. Let the water settle. Observe, but don't hold. That choice is not weakness. It's detachment. The mind resists. It wants to argue, to prove, to make their words mean less. But that fight, it's a chain. The secret is simpler. Release the weight. Let their judgment pass, like wind through an open hand. It's not about ignoring them. It's about not becoming them. The reflex to carry, it's a load you choose. Drop it. Stand still. Let the lake clear. That's where the system holds. That's where the ripple stops. Pain doesn't mean truth. The weight of words, it's a subtle anchor. But another reflex lurks, quicker, louder, ready to break the silence. Secret. Cat. The urge to react. A sting lands. A word. A slight. A silence. The pulse quickens. The urge to fire back. It surges. Sharp. Hot. It demands a response. A text. A retort. A defense. Anything to push back the pain. That urge, it's not justice. It's a reflex. A spark that begs to flare. It rises, not to protect, but to react. To fill the void with noise. To drown the grief with action. That reflex carries a cost. It's not the moment's heat. It's the fracture left behind. Each reaction, it spills control. It hands the reins to another. Their slight becomes your chain. The system breaks, not from their words, but from your rush to answer them. The heart races. The mind clouds. That's not strength. That's loss. A quiet theft of clarity. Each outburst, a step further from the center. The Stoic sees the spark and lets it fade. Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, to cease worrying about things beyond our power. That happiness is not in winning the moment, it's in non-reaction. The action is stark. Hold the breath, let the urge burn, and pass. Stay still. Don't send the text, don't speak the retort. That pause is not surrender. It's discipline. It's the refusal to let a moment rule. Two paths diverge. One, the reflex to react. It flares. It consumes. It leaves ashes and grief. The other, the choice to hold. It's quiet. It's steady. It builds a silent edge. The reflex screams for release. The Stoic chooses restraint. That restraint, it's not weakness. It's power. It's the system holding firm. Let their words hang. Let their silence sit. They don't need your fire. The mind stays clear when it doesn't burn. You don't have to react. Why didn't they reply? Why do you need them to? That silence, it means something. Or it means nothing. Their absence, it's a verdict. Or it's just absence. Sucre. 5. The trap of overthinking. The mind loops. A thought takes hold, it turns, it tightens. A word they said, it replays. A look they gave, it grows. A silence, it speaks louder than words. That's the reflex. To overthink. To build a story from fragments. To feed a ghost until it's real. That loop, it's not truth. It's a trap. It's the mind chasing its own shadow. Age sickle steals. Not time, but presence. The thought spins, and the world fades. The heart clings to a meaning that isn't there. That's not insight. That's loss. A quiet drain of awareness. The system bends, not because they left, but because the mind keeps them here. Each loop, a weight. Each story, a chain. The cost is clear, not their absence, but your grip on it. The Stoic sees the loop and steps out. A thought rises. Let it pass. A memory stings. Don't feed it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." That color is yours to choose. The action is sharp. Unhook. Breathe through the urge. Let the story dissolve. That pause is not avoidance. It's clarity. It's the refusal to let a shadow rule. The mind fights. It wants to solve, to unravel, to make sense of the senseless. But sense is not in the loop. It's in the break. Let the thought fade. Let the replay stop. The reflex to overthink, it's a cage. Open it, stand still. The system holds. When the mind lets go, that's where the shadow clears. That's where you return. Silence isn't surrender. Secrecis, the need to please. A nod, a smile, their approval. It beckons. The reflex kicks in. Adjust the tone, soften the edge. Say what fits. The urge to please, it's swift, silent. It shapes the words before they form. It bends the spine to fit their frame. That need, it's not connection. It's a trap. A pull to trade truth for a fleeting glance of favor. That reflex has a cost. It's not their rejection. It's the fracture within. Each concession chips at self-command. Each adjustment builds a cage. The heart learns to crave their nod over its own beat. That's not harmony. That's isolation. A quiet theft of presence. The system erodes, not because they didn't smile, but because you reshaped to earn it. Each step toward their approval is a step away from you. The trap seems safe. Pleasing them, it feels like control. It promises belonging. It delivers only weight. Their favor shifts. Their rules change. The reflex to please, it chases a moving line. The Stoic sees the line and steps back. The action is clear. Withdraw. Speak less. Hold the truth without bending. That pause is not loss. It's discipline. It's the refusal to let their gaze rule. Their approval, it's a mirage. It shifts with their mood. It fades with their attention. Chasing it builds nothing. The secret is stark. Let their nod pass. Let their silence sit. Not explaining is the edge. It's not about defiance. It's about standing whole. The reflex to please, it's a chain you forge. Break it. Stand still. The system holds when it doesn't bend. Detachment is a form of respect. A river flows. You don't chase its current. You stand. Secreset. The fear of being seen. If they see me, they'll leave. The thought hums. It's quiet, but heavy. The reflex takes hold. Hide the edges. Soften the truth. Stay small, unseen. That fear, it's not loud. It's a whisper. A voice that says, blend in. Don't stand out. Don't risk the sting of their gaze. That reflex, it's not safety. It's a cage. A pull to suppress what's real. The cost is not their judgment. It's the silence within. Each moment hidden buries awareness. Each truth unspoken builds a wall. The heart learns to shrink to fit their frame. That's not protection. That's loss. A quiet theft of self-command. The system phrase. Not because they saw, but because you dimmed to avoid it. Each step into shadow is a step away from light. The Stoic hears the whisper and lets it pass. The voice says hide. The action says stand. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Seneca wrote that weeping is not for their eyes. It's for the truth you bury. The secret is simple. Sit with it. Let the fear rise and fade. Speak the truth or say nothing. That choice is not weakness. It's inner weight. The mind resists. It wants to shrink, to avoid the risk, to stay safe in shadow. But safety is not in hiding. It's in holding the line. Let their gaze fall. Let their words land. They don't define the frame. You do. The reflex to hide. It's a chain you wear. Break it. Stand still. The system holds when it doesn't flinch. Stillness is enough. Secret wheat. The cling to closure. A door stays shut. The mind pushes. It wants answers, reasons, a final word to seal the wound. The reflex to cling. It's fierce, silent. It holds tight to what's gone. A message unsent. A call unanswered. A moment left open. That need, it's not resolution. It's a system failure. A loop of hope blindly, chasing what won't return. The cost is not the open door. It's the emptiness within. Each push drains presence. Each weight builds a cage. The heart learns to hang on fragments that don't fit. That's not healing. That's loss. A quiet theft of ground. The system breaks. Not because they didn't answer, but because you kept knocking. Each unanswered hope, a crack in the foundation. A door stays shut. Forcing it breaks you. The Stoic sees the door and turns away. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters, Epictetus wrote. That reaction is not in chasing, it's in release. The action is stark. Let go. Walk away. Let the door stay shut. That step is not defeat. It's no explanation. It's the refusal to let an absence rule. The mind fights. It wants closure. It wants to know why. But why is a chain. The secret is simpler. Drop the need. Let the question fade. Walking away is the edge. It's not about forgetting. It's about standing whole. The reflex to cling, it's a weight you carry. Release it. Stand still. The system holds when it doesn't chase. You can end without drama. The silence settles. 8 secrets, each a cut, each a pause. They don't erase the pain. They don't fill the void. They carve a space for stillness, for a system to hold when the world pulls. That space, it's not an answer. It's a ground, a place to stand without bending. Their words, they still land. Their silence, it still stings. But the reflex to chase, to explain, to cling, it weakens. Each secret a tool, not to win, not to heal, but to see, to observe, without breaking. The system doesn't need their reply. It doesn't need their nod. It needs your pause, your restraint. That's the edge. That's the strength that nothing can touch. The mind will slip. It always does. A reflex will rise. A loop will pull. But the secrets remain. They're not rules. They're reminders of what's yours and what's not, of what bends and what holds. The world keeps moving. The noise keeps coming. But you can stay still. Detachment isn't loss, it's presence. A reflex stirs. The urge to check, to react, to please. It hums, familiar, heavy. But this time, it pauses. The hand doesn't move. The words don't form. The loop doesn't spin. That pause, it's not loud. It's not a victory. It's a shift. A moment where the system holds, where the pull meets silence. That silence, it's not empty. It's a mirror. It shows the reflex for what it is, a habit, a chain, forged by old wounds. Not theirs, yours. The secrets cut through. They don't promise peace. They demand awareness. To see the urge and let it pass. To feel the sting and not chase it. That's not healing. That's discipline. That's the line between bending and standing. The world doesn't stop. Their silence, their words, they keep coming. But the system can hold. It can observe without breaking. The reflex will rise again. It always does. But each pause, each detachment, builds a quiet edge. That edge, it's not about them. It's about you. About what stays when the noise fades. Not doing is power too. Marcus Aurelius sat alone, pen in hand. The world roared wars, betrayal, plague. Yet he wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That stillness, it wasn't escape. It was command. The secrets, they don't shield from pain. They don't block the sting. They teach something sharper, to stand in the noise and not bend, to feel the pull and not follow. Each secret, a cut. Each cut, a chance to see, to choose non-reaction over reflex. That choice, it's not loud, it's not final. It's a practice, a system wired to hold. Their silence, it will land. Their words, they will bite. The reflex to chase, to explain, to cling, it will rise. But the system doesn't need their answer. It needs your pause, your restraint. That's the ground. That's the edge that nothing can break. The mind will falter. It always does. But the secrets, they stay. They're not hope. They're clarity, a frame to keep what's yours. The world moves. The noise grows. But you can stay still. That stillness, it's not surrender. It's power. It's the system, refusing to crack. Each secret, a step. Not to escape the void, but to stand in it, to let it clear. That's where the strength lies. That's where nothing touches you. Silence isn't surrender. The ground holds. A reflex rises and fades. The urge to chase, to react, it stirs. But the hand stays still. The screen stays dark. That pause, it's not a win. It's a shift. A moment where the system aligns, where the noise meets silence. That silence, it's not empty. It's a space. A frame to see the reflex for what it is. A habit. A shadow cast by old wounds. The secrets don't erase the sting. They don't fill the emptiness. They carve a line, a boundary between what pulls and what you hold. Each secret, a tool, not to fix the world, not to change their silence, but to observe without breaking, to choose detachment over reflex. That choice, it's not loud, it's not final, it's a practice, a system built to stand. Their words, they'll keep coming. Their absence, it'll keep biting. But you can stay still. That stillness, it's not surrender. It's inner weight. It's the system, holding firm. Each secret, a reminder, not to erase the pain, but to stand through it, to let the void become the space where you stand. You don't have to react. A single breath, it cuts through. The noise fades. The reflex stirs, but doesn't take hold. That pause, it's not a cure. It's a choice. A moment where the system holds against the pull. Their silence, their words, they land, but they don't rule. The secrets, they don't promise peace. They demand presence. To see the urge and let it pass. To feel the weight and not carry it. That presence, it's not loud. It's not a shield. It's a ground. A place to stand when the world shifts. The reflex to explain, to please, to cling, it rises. But the system knows better. It knows the cost. The emptiness, the loss, they come from feeding the reflex, not from their absence. The secrets, they're not answers, they're cuts. Each one, a chance to detach, to hold the line without breaking. The world doesn't pause. Their judgments, their silences, they keep coming. But you can stay still. That stillness, it's not escape, it's power. It's the system refusing to bend. Each secret, a step, not to erase the pain, but to stand in it, to let it clear without pulling you down. Stillness is enough. Seneca faced exile, his name slandered, his power stripped. Yet he wrote, "You must live for yourself if you would live for others." That stillness, it wasn't defiance. It was clarity. The secrets carve deep. They don't block the sting. They redirect it. Each one, a pause, a cut to break the reflex. The urge to wreak, to chase, to hide, it rises. Sharp, familiar. But the system holds. It sees the pull and lets it fade. That act, it's not escape, it's discipline. It's the choice to stand when the world demands you bend. Their silence, it stings. Their words, they weigh. But the weight, it's not theirs to set. It's yours to release. The reflex will stir. The need to explain, to please, to cling, it hums. But the secrets, they anchor. They don't offer peace. They demand clarity. To observe without breaking. To detach without losing. The world doesn't stop. Their judgments, their absences, they keep coming. But you can stay still. That stillness, it's not surrender. It's silent power. Each secret, a step. Not to fill the loss, but to stand through it. To let the void become the space where you hold. Let go isn't weakness. The ground holds firm. A reflex rises. The urge to check, to react, to bend. It rises sharp, insistent. But the hand stays still. The screen stays dark. That pause, it's not a triumph. It's a choice, A moment where the system aligns against the pull. The secrets, they don't erase the sting. They sharpen the edge to cut through it. Their silence, it lands. Their words, they bite. But the system holds when it doesn't chase. The reflex to cling, to explain, to please, it stirs. But the secrets anchor. They don't promise peace. They demand awareness, to feel the pain and not feed it. To see the emptiness and not chase it. That's not healing. That's silent power. That's the line between falling and standing. The noise doesn't fade. The world keeps pressing. But you can stay still. That stillness, it's not avoidance. It's presence. It's the system refusing to bend. Each secret, a cut. Not to erase the sting, but to stand in it. To let it clear without pulling you down. You don't owe anything. A thought loops. It tightens, but doesn't take hold. The urge to chase, to react, it stirs, but the system pauses. The screen stays dark. The silence, it's not empty. It's a ground, a space, to see the reflex for what it is. A shadow, cast by old wounds. Not theirs, yours. The secrets, they don't promise a cure. They demand clarity, to feel the sting and not follow. That clarity, it's not loud. It's not a shield. It's a frame, a boundary between what pulls and what you hold. The reflex to explain, to please, to cling, it rises. But the system knows the cost. The loss, the emptiness, they come from feeding the reflex, not from their silence. The secrets, they're not answers, they're cuts. Each one, a chance to detach, to observe without breaking. Their words, they'll keep coming. Their absence, it'll keep biting. But you can stay still. That stillness, it's not surrender. It's inner weight. It's the system holding firm. Each secret, a reminder, not to erase the pain, but to stand through it. To let the void become the space where you stand. Silence isn't surrender. A reflex hums, the urge to check, to bend, to chase. It rises, sharp, familiar, but the system holds. The hand doesn't move, the words don't spill. That pause, it's not a win, it's a choice. A moment where the pull meets stillness. The secrets, they don't block the sting. They carve a space to see it, to let it pass without breaking. Their silence, it lands. Their words, they cut. But the system doesn't falter. When it doesn't, wreaked. The reflex, to cling, to explain, to please, it stirs. But the secrets anchor. They don't promise peace. They demand awareness, to feel the pain and not feed it, to see the loss and not chase it. That's not escape. That's discipline. That's the edge between falling and standing. The noise doesn't fade. The world keeps pressing, but you can stay still. That stillness, it's not avoidance. It's presence. It's the system refusing to bend. Each secret, a cut. Not to erase the sting, but to stand in it, to let it clear without pulling you under. You don't have to react. Epictetus stood before his students, a former slave, his leg broken by cruelty. Yet he said, "You are not your body, but your choices." That stillness, it wasn't resignation, it was command. The secrets carve a line. They don't erase the pain. They redirect it. Each one, a pause, a cut, to break the reflex. The urge to read, to chase, To hide, it rises, sharp, heavy. But the system holds. It sees the pull and lets it fade. That act, it's not a cure. It's discipline. It's the choice to stand when the world demands a bend. Their silence, it stings. Their words, they weigh. But the weight, it's not theirs to set. It's yours to release. The reflex will stir. The need to explain, to please, to cling, it hums. But the secrets, they ground. They don't offer peace. They demand clarity. To observe without breaking. To detach without losing. That's not escape, that's inner weight. The world doesn't stop. Their judgments, their absences, they keep coming. But you can stay still. That stillness, it's not surrender. It's silent power. Each secret, a step. Not to fill the loss, but to stand through it. To let the void become the space where you hold. Let go isn't weakness. The silence settles. A reflex hums. The urge to check, to bend, to chase. It rises, quiet, sharp. But the system pauses. The hand stays still. The screen stays dark. That pause, it's not a triumph. It's a choice. A moment where the pull meets stillness. The secrets, they don't block the pain. They carve a space to see it, to let it pass, without breaking. Their words, they land. Their silence, it bites. But the system holds. When it doesn't, react. The reflex to cling, to explain, to please, it stirs. But the secrets anchor. They don't promise peace. They demand awareness. To feel the loss and not feed it. To see the emptiness and not chase it. That's not healing. That's silent power. That's the line between falling and standing. The noise doesn't fade. The world keeps pressing. But you can stay still. That stillness, it's not avoidance. It's presence. It's the system refusing to bend. Each secret, a cut. Not to erase the sting, but to stand in it. To let it clear without pulling you down. You don't owe anything. A reflex flickers. The urge to chase, to bend, to react. It rises. Sharp, familiar. But the system holds. The hand doesn't move. The words don't form. That pause, it's not a cure. It's a choice. A moment where the noise meets silence. The secrets, they don't erase the sting. They sharpen the edge to cut through it. Their silence, it lands. Their words, they cut. But the system doesn't break when it doesn't cling. The reflex to explain, to please, to hide, it hums. But the secrets ground. They don't offer peace. They demand clarity. To see the pain and not feed it. To feel the loss and not chase it. That's not escape. That's inner weight. That's the line between falling and standing. The world doesn't pause. Their judgments, their absences, they keep coming. But you can stay still. That stillness, it's not surrender. It's presence. It's the system refusing to crack. Each secret, a step, not to fill the emptiness, but to stand in it, to let it clear without pulling you down. Stillness is enough. The screen goes dark. The room hums. Still. A breath holds. The world outside moves. Voices call. Silences linger. But here, nothing stirs. The hand rests. The urge to check, to react, to chase, it came. It passed. That pause, it's not a victory. It's a choice. A moment where the system held against The pull. That stillness. It's not loud. It's not final. It's a ground. A space where the sting landed and didn't break. The reflex stirred and was let go. Their words, their absence, they didn't shift the frame. The system stayed. Not because it won, but because it didn't bend. That silence, it's not empty. It's presence. It's what stays when the noise fades. Was that pause, surrender, or strength? The question hangs unanswered. It doesn't need to be. It only needs to be seen. The world will pull again. It always does. But this moment, it's yours. Stillness is its own weight.